This is Between Two Beards.
What's on this episode of Between Two Beards?
This is the new podcast. We're going to be talking about all things
Beardy.
toys.
Beardy. Just all beardy things.
Beard toys.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Toy Geeks Behind the Counter. We are your geeks. And
these are your toys?
We're behind the counter. I'm Ben.
I'm George.
I'm Kwong.
Brandon.
And we have two guests today, as you guys can see.
Three.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Out there. You'll
You'll
it
see.
later on.
Stay
Maybe.
tuned.
Stay tuned. Just watch. Just don't switch to the other YouTube channel. Hey guys, how's it going?
Great.
For those who don't know
It's
you,
good.
can you tell us a little about who you are, what you're doing here, all that good stuff?
Yeah. I'm Kwong. I paint toys. I make toys. And Brandon.
Yeah, make toys, paint toys.
And we have...
Doing a little convention.
Yeah, we have our convention coming up called Creature Bazaar.
Creature Bazaar! You guys are so exciting.
Well, we didn't give
Yeah.
them a very good introduction, to
We
be
didn't,
fair.
we didn't.
That was a shitty introduction.
Should we do it again?
No, just keep going.
Okay.
We're not a professional show.
No, we're not, as you guys can tell. So Creature Bazaar. Creature Bazaar is coming up. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Well,
That's great.
Yeah.
So we no. What is Creature Bazaar?
it's just like maybe a more... what I consider more like focused and vinyl toy show. You know, art, vinyl toys, and everything in between.
Okay. Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Would you
Well-
say it's like decon?
It is, but I guess it's more curated. That's the way we like to kind of position it. It's like we didn't want it to have too many vendors. I'd just say like I'm pretty particular, so I just pick stuff that I like.
Okay. Now a lot of the vendors look like they're like kaiju figures, so Fubi figures. Is that really what the show is focused on? And like that's the core of it, and then it kind of branches out from that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess when I started collecting, it predated a lot of the designer vinyl stuff.
Yeah.
Like I collected a lot of the old like Japanese like Godzilla toys and various things like that, and so I always sort of collected around there. And then when the designer vinyl boom sort of happened, I was just like, I'm out.
Oh no.
But now I'm kind of back, and Brandon and I decided to just kind of work on our own show.
Awesome. Now, Brandon, you actually own another company.
Yeah, Blitzkrieg Toys.
So can you tell us a little bit about Blitzkrieg?
Yeah, just kind of the love of monsters and creating and stuff and being able to, bring different characters to life and, learning the process. And it's been a lot of fun just experimenting around and working on sculpts and working with guys in Japan and, doing events. And I think that's kind of what brought us around to doing a show that's kind of similar to kind of like Japan's like Superfest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which
We
are
used to have
kind
like
of smaller shows.
Like parties in my backyard where a lot of the toy makers would just come and hang out, and we just felt like, what if we could carry this energy into a show a little bit tighter,
Right.
basically.
So the other thing is that Creature Bazaar was actually at Designer Con.
Yeah. Well, I guess it goes back into like when we first even came up with the idea. We spoke with you about
Right.
doing something that wasn't in competition with Decon because we love Decon.
It's great.
Yeah, no, it's fun, and it's one of the reasons we can all get together.
Right.
Over
Support the
here.
scene, because it's like this tiny, this
Yeah.
small.
Yeah. No, and it's great, and this gives us like now it's like a couple times a year that we can all get together with Decon and Creature Bazaar and things like that.
Actually, we haven't mentioned it yet, but what are the dates for Creature Bazaar?
April 3rd and 4th.
Okay.
So it's going to be a Friday evening and a Saturday day. And that's
Nice.
it.
At the Glendale Civic Center, we're having it.
Awesome, guys. Well, thanks for being on the show. And
Wait, that's not it. They
Oh,
have to
no,
tell us-
there's-
I'm sure they're going to have things there. Maybe
oh,
we could look at some of them.
What? Oh, there's more? No, actually, I was gonna say thanks for being on the show. I hear that you guys brought actually a couple of the figures that are gonna be available at the show. So why don't we get into that?
All right.
All right.
I thought you were kicking them off.
No. Why would I do that?
Well, we actually only brought one figure with us because the other ones are being prototype and paint masters and everything's getting done, but they all should be there at the show.
And they're all delayed because of...
Because everybody in China's partying right now.
What? They're all having a massive party with Corona beers and all that?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, sponsored by Corona.
It's hard times right now, folks.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
All right, so as you bring this out, who's selling this? Is this your company? Like, what's your company name?
Well, Creature Bazaar, like
They will have a booth. Creature
Yeah.
Bazaar will have a booth. Okay.
Yeah. And so this is a toy we did with Splurt, which combines the cinema monster body and the bone oozer head, which hasn't been done before.
Nice.
So it's a new sort of Splurt mashup, I guess.
Yeah.
Splurt is an artist that
Yes.
people will know. Okay.
Yeah.
Correct.
So can you... All right, so is this like the first color of this figure? Or?
Yeah. Yeah. This is a paint
That's the test paint.
that we
Nice.
did
For the
for
ones that we
Are
did
these
for the
made
run.
in Japan or China?
Japan.
Look at that
Nice.
real metal chain right there.
Yeah, real metal chain.
So if produced in Japan, they are real sofubi.
Yes.
It's a real Safubi.
How much are they?
That was a question from the audience that said, "How much are they?"
That person in the audience really should be on the show.
Yeah.
If only we had more than 4 mics.
Or a bigger counter. How much are these guys going to be?
It should go for about 180. Was it?
I think it was 150 to 180. I have to figure out.
Yeah, we're still figuring out the pricing.
To be determined, Mr. Audience Man.
So about 180. So you guys seem to know a lot about the whole Japanese vinyl thing, and we talk about it a lot on the show. But
With zero knowledge behind it.
zero. But can you guys give your input a little bit? Like, because a lot of people still ask, why are these Japanese figures so expensive? Like, you can go into a Target and buy a massive, like, 18-inch, 24-inch figure. And I mean, granted, like, yeah, this is, like, cool and has lots of paint applicants on it, but, like, why is this almost, like, double or triple the cost of a regular toy that you can find out there?
I think it comes down to production numbers.
Okay.
A lot of it, because when you're going in and you're getting your toy in a Target and something that's mass produced.
So how many of these are being made?
40, I think.
That's it.
Between 20 or 40. Yeah.
So it could be 20,
Could be 40.
but it could be all the way up to 40 pieces.
Yep. A massive,
Are you guys
staggering.
expecting like only 50 people to show up or something? It's
No,
like-
it's just down to limited quantities, and because the thing about having Japanese toys is they're hand pulled
right,
out of the molds, and it's like one guy in a factory that probably employs 3 people.
right. As you can see in our last week's video when we pulled our Decon mascot out.
Yeah, you know,
Right.
man. I mean, it takes one
did.
person to pull that toy. It's not like they're not pulling 20 of those at once. I mean, it's
Exactly. It's
fairly
like,
labor intensive to make one figure, and that's just the blank without paint application or
And there's
assembling
separate guys
the mace and
standing there and like painting these by hand. So each one is actually quite unique.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And with that paint app, no tool will be exactly the same, so each one will have its own subtleties.
So this one is made by the artist Splurge. Splurt.
Splurge.
Sorry.
That's something I do later in the evening.
Nice. What are some of the other bigger like artists that you guys are gonna have at the show that we should know about?
Paul Kaiju,
Paul Kaiju.
yep, one of our favorites. Mutant Vinyl Hardcore.
Okay, MVH.
I do find that trying to list a bunch of artists is always going to cause problems because you're going to forget someone's name.
I said
and
some of
Yeah.
the
So
artists.
what I think you should do is go to creaturebazaar.com, correct?
Yes.
And look at the full list. Actually, even better yet is
Or we
follow
can
them
scroll.
on Instagram.
We can scroll
all the names.
names.
right now.
Yes.
Go ahead, Victoria. Put
Yeah,
all the
we can
names
have a
on.
nice
Oh my gosh.
silent block right here as she's just
And
scrolling.
just actually throughout the entire show, we
The
can just
ticker
have it
tape.
scroll on the bottom.
But follow Creature Bazaar on Instagram.
But there's like a couple of artists that usually, like, you guys actually got some artists that like never show up in the United States or haven't done things in such a long time that are huge in the vinyl toy scene. Those are kind of like the names that I want to know.
All right. You go
Am
ahead.
I going to alienate? Am I going to
Yes,
make somebody upset?
saying
Am
a
I
list
make-
of names and not saying everyone
But
alienates somebody. It hurts
I'm
someone's
telling you
feelings.
right now, it's not that we're trying to hurt anybody's feelings. It's just
All right, pick a couple names out of your
maybe
head.
a couple of highlighted.
Well, like Spectrum Lab is coming, and he's never exhibited in the U.S.
See?
He's never been to the U.S.
Yeah, he's
There
never
you
come
go.
to
And
the
I
U.S.
don't even know who that is.
You didn't know who Splurge
something-
was.
Right, I don't know. I still don't know who Splurge is.
Splurge is a great guy. He actually splurged and created a child recently.
Well, there you go. But anybody else like that?
Well, somebody that we're bringing over and they're actually exhibiting at 3D Retro is Knuckle. And Knuckle's an artist that's,
There you go.
cherished in Japan. A lot of Americans are really into him. He designs a lot of the toys for Headlock Studio. And he's doing his first United States art exhibition at 3D Retro.
Wow, when's that going to be?
That's going to be the 27th, 28th, and 29th of March.
Okay.
The weekend before Creature Bazaar, and then he's
And
doing
the closing event will be the
event.
April 2nd,
April
the
2nd.
evening before Creature Bazaar.
Now, what a lot of people don't know is that when you say here at 3D Retro, it's actually not going to be held here in the store here.
Right.
It's actually going to be held in a location that we usually don't let anyone inside.
The secret, where all the
Yes.
secret toys are.
So
It's going to be a cooler toy.
Ben's Toy Dungeon.
yes, it's still at
That's
this.
what we should call it. We should just call it Ben's Toy Dungeon.
God,
That's a
no.
better name.
But it's at this address. It's just that when you show up, you're gonna be
Look
surprised.
for the neon sign that says
Ben will
Ben's
blind-
Toy
Ben's
Dungeon.
Toy
Ben's
Dungeon.
Toy
They
Dungeon.
will blindfold you and lead you
Right.
the hallway
Into his
to
toy
the
dungeon.
secret
The
room.
big neon penis flashing.
What? How did
What?
turn into that?
You said it.
Yeah.
Your sign. I don't
You
know.
said it. Anyways, so this is cool. Do we have anything else to show the audience?
We are going to be having a special Headlock Studio toy,
Nice.
which is another, he's never made it before, which is his little Frankie body
Look at that. It
with a
actually
skull
has-
head,
So you guys are probably seeing this pop up on your screen right now. We're gonna
flashing
look
with
at
the
it
names
here.
of all the vendors.
Yes, the little ticket taker. That's awesome because it actually says Creature Bazaar on it.
Yep.
Is that sculpted in or is that just printed off?
It's paint masked on.
That's amazing.
That's
no,
still
it's
so
great.
cool.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
the colors on that one too.
Love it.
Went for like a Halloween sort of color.
Yeah, that's like, I gotta
super
get one of
plastic
those.
and fun.
That's going to be really
And
cool.
I think that's limited to 60.
Does it come with all the Japanese food around it?
Yeah, it's bagged. It's all individually Ziploc
Nice.
bagged. in
That's
there.
awesome.
It's Chinese food actually.
Yeah.
Oh, some bean sprouts.
Racist.
And
It's Chinese food in Japan.
Oh,
And wait, is this going to be available at Creature Bazaar or at the event before Creature Bazaar?
At Creature Bazaar.
Okay.
nice.
That's the exclusive with Creature Bazaar for
At the
event.
Creature Bazaar booth?
Yes.
Okay.
Very cool. What else we got?
What's the event before Creature Bazaar?
It's the Knuckle.
Ben's Toy Dungeon.
Yeah, Ben's Toy Dungeon featuring Knuckle and Johnny, presented by Headlock Studio.
Oh. Oh, we're never going to escape that name now.
This is the M1 Golden Minia, which will come with a large size tower. The tower color is still yet to be determined.
Isn't that Tokyo Tower?
Yeah, it's a Tokyo tower.
So shouldn't it be red and white?
Well, so we're gonna make it in colors that it doesn't exist in,
Oh.
Make
At-
it even more
like black and
elusive,
silver?
more
as a
exclusive.
show special.
I see.
This is freaking adorable.
He's gonna be in soft vinyl, so he can kind of like
he can
grip
hug
me,
the
so
tower.
he can squeeze his
man.
body and he like holds on.
That's awesome. How much is that one going to be?
Probably around $50.
That's it?
Yeah,
That's amazing. Wait, did
So
we
you're making
discuss?
like 1,000 of these?
I think we're making 100.
Yes, I think
That's
100.
it?
Did
yeah.
you mention the price on this guy? I forgot.
I think that'll be about 120
Yeah.
for that one. I think the name right now we're still figuring out what we're gonna call that.
Prices to be determined.
Yeah.
Don't hold us to anything we say on this show.
Right.
Follow-
We don't
follow-
know
Ever.
anything.
Follow the Instagram for updates, which will
Yeah.
have
Once
the
I
quantities and
calculate the
prices,
shipping.
You know,
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
However many they could get done in time.
Yeah.
how
However
many
much
there
it
will be.
costs to air freight all this in,
that's kind
tack
of the
that
deal.
on.
I need this little guy. He's adorable.
Sorry, they're
It's-
sold out. There were only 100 of them.
I'll be there early.
It's pretty great. Like, and they've never packaged it that way before with that big tower. That you
Usually
can hold
comes
on
with
to.
It's
like
like a
a
little
tiny-
baby Godzilla.
Yep,
It
Minia.
usually comes with like a miniature tower about the same size as he is. But this is
Amazing.
the
deluxe.
first time he's coming in like the deluxe like
Yeah, we're
climb
each gonna need
on
one of those.
tower.
No problem.
All right. Keep going. What do we got?
Wait, who was the artist on this one?
M1 is actually making that.
M1.
M1.
And then
What else
we have a couple T-shirts that we're doing.
Nice.
We'll
Say that for later.
yeah.
Oh.
So these are 2 shirts that we're doing. One with Knuckle for the Creature Bazaar.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, rad.
Nice. Very
It's like an Ed
Ed
Roth.
Roth.
Ed Roth style. Yeah.
That's kind of his style.
I'm sure you guys are seeing the image
in
pop
Japan.
up on your screen right now.
If not, you can just zoom in on your
Will
phone.
this come in a black tee or?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would also make a really cool cereal box, by the way.
We're too old to pull off white,
Yeah.
so it's kind of
Yeah,
hard to
exactly. Yeah, definitely.
As you can see,
no
none of us
no white
really
tees.
like
No
white
white-
t-shirts.
no white
The
tees.
black tea, the black tea club.
And then here we have our Skinner T-shirt
Nice.
that we're doing. Also another black tee. No white tees
Excellent.
allowed.
No white tees allowed.
No white tees allowed.
Sorry, Teresa.
What do you think?
Yeah, rad. Look at that thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How much are the t-shirts going to be going for?
To be determined, Ben.
Yeah.
No,
be
the Skinner tee is 25.
It's up for
It's
pre-sale.
up for pre-sale.
When you buy your
When you
tickets
buy
for
tickets,
Creature-
you can, as an
Creature
add-on,
Bazaar.
you can
Nice.
order it ahead of time and pick it up with your wristband at the event.
Speaking of which, how much are tickets to the event?
They're $20 a day and $35 for the
Two-day pass.
2-day pass.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Keeping it nice and affordable, you know.
So we got some t-shirts, we've got some figures, anything else?
And then this just came in. We're not going to be selling this, but Justin Ishmael, he's doing a trike with M1,
Nice.
officially licensed Harryhausen Cyclops.
Wow. Very
so
cool.
That'll be pretty awesome.
So wait a minute, this will not be at the show?
It should be.
It should be at the show.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
With the EMS shipping delays and all the other stuff going on, I mean, everything's
Yeah.
tentative, but we're hoping to
Now-
have all this stuff.
Yeah, that was actually
Okay.
shown off at DCon this last year.
Oh,
Nice.
cool. Now, can you explain why it's a Cyclops riding a tricycle?
Well, how else do you expect him to get around?
There you go.
I mean,
That's all you need to know.
a Cyclops on a bicycle, that just doesn't make any sort of sense.
That's true.
Tricycle?
Tricycle
Have you
makes
tried to
more
ride a
sense.
bicycle with hoofs?
It's the
Yeah.
extra weight, George.
Yeah.
George, have you tried to
For
ride
one eye, you need the
Yeah,
three
you,
wheels
you,
to
you
balance.
try
Yeah.
riding a bicycle winking the whole time.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
You know what? Yeah.
And you know how hard it is to keep your pedals, your feet, your hoofs on those little pedals? It's not
Yeah.
easy.
So this has nothing to do with any other kind of tricycle toys that have ever come out.
Well,
What are you
like
trying to say, George? What are you trying to say?
there's a long history of like Japanese characters riding tricycles.
All right, that's what I'm trying to talk about.
That's what it is. Right.
A company called Bullmark had made a large series of them back in the 70s, and then M1 had kind of taken up the that series after Bullmark had closed its doors,
Okay.
and they had made it. And so Ish is actually doing it with M1.
No other tricycle terror monster toys or anything like that?
Well, is that tricycle? So is that an existing mold of other? Like, have other figures come out on that tricycle before?
this particular
So
tricycle.
people who collect that already are going to
But
be
Quan, correct. That's
seeking
the
this.
first kind of non-Japanese character to come on a tricycle.
on this specific Bullmark mold. There had been other characters in the past, like I think Marks back in the day had come out with their line of their own tricycles, but on this specific Bullmark mold,
Isn't that such a strange thing? Like, someone was like, "Yeah, let's put this crazy monster on a tricycle for some reason."
that has nothing to do with
has
that.
nothing to
show.
do with it at all.
hilarious.
Yeah, like
Why wouldn't you do that?
But M1 has like a
for-
series
it's for
I
the
think
kids.
of like maybe 10 different characters
Think of the
like
children.
really beautiful, like a Godzilla, an Ultraman, and things like that come on tricycles. So this was sort of something to like keep it within that line.
So it fits in scale in line with all the other characters on the tricycles.
that's awesome.
Nice.
I think I probably own about 40 different ones.
Really?
Yeah.
There's been that many?
Well, there's like about 10 different characters, but in different colorways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What else?
That's it.
I mean,
What else do
as
you
far
want?
as we can announce right now, we have a couple other surprises that we can announce that will be announced later.
Okay.
But it's getting pretty stacked.
Nice.
Yeah, and we're excited. I mean, the vendor list is. I can't believe half of the guys we were able to pull off.
Very
So
cool.
it's been a pretty crazy journey so far.
That's
how,
awesome.
how have you guys found? I mean, because you've been attending conventions for quite some time. How have you found putting one together? A lot more
It-
work than you thought, or is it kind of like, oh, this is pretty good?
It's been pretty good so far. It's been fun, but we're also keeping it small intentionally.
Yes.
You know, I've known Ben for a really long time, and he actually used to have a full head of hair when I first met him. And the years that DCon has become more successful, like the more successful it gets.
Oh yeah.
The less and less
Less-
hair.
less-
Less hair,
Yeah.
less and less hair.
Oh my god.
So it's intentionally small for a reason.
Right.
And I think that was like early on when we had discussed with Ben and 3D Retro about doing it. That's what the idea was almost like it's like the pit stop to DCon.
It also makes it really easy to take that show and like put it into DCon for later in the year.
No, and that was one of the things is that we like is that there will be a Creature Bazaar area within DCon,
Oh, nice. Okay.
so that it's like a
It's like a
micro
twice
version.
a year type of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, that's
So
great.
it's cool.
you know, we're also talking about keeping the whole Creature Bazaar thing going, like doing the event in Ben's Toy Dungeon.
Right. So throughout the year, there could be little pop-up Creature Bazaar events.
Yeah.
Things like
Yeah,
that.
that's exactly it. Is that the idea is to keep the weirdness of like having specialty vendors, people that don't normally wouldn't come to something as big as DCon,
Right.
because they're just like maybe more intimate artists.
And there will be a taco truck.
Yeah,
And,
That's
and something
most
that fits
important
in,
yeah,
you know, with not being, you know, a typical gallery space. You know, there's artisan toy makers and stuff. I don't know if they can really shoulder doing a classic gallery space with a, you know, a gallery split. They need something that's a little more, you know, conducive, a little more favorable, you know, to show off their stuff and expose everyone to
their
what
art.
they're doing.
yeah.
So do you think that, I mean, I know this is only the first time you're having the event. You don't know what the turnout's going to be. You don't know anything. Is this something that you're planning already to keep going for like 2021 and like on? And is-
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
there's, I guess the Creature Bazaar idea is something that we'd like to carry on a couple times over the year. And it's really just sort of like little smatterings of things, and then DCon will always be sort of the main event.
Yeah.
You know.
Main event. Sunday.
And Brandon, earlier you said you have Blitzkrieg toys. Do you have? Is there going to be a Blitzkrieg table? Are you going to have things there, or are you going to be too busy running Creature
There'll
Bazaar?
probably be some stuff at the Creature Bazaar booth, just because you know, with being, you know, running the show and stuff, probably be running around.
It's harder
a
to
fair
get your own
amount.
things going.
So, but there'll definitely be some stuff at the Creature Bazaar booth, you know, of mine represented and Kwong's as well.
Nice.
I mean, we're painting the Splurt toys for the release and stuff, so
And we're actually doing a small exhibit coming soon to ToyCon UK.
Oh, really?
Like a miniature version of Creature Bazaar will be out there as well.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Worldwide.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
taking over the planet.
3D Retro is going to be at Creature Bazaar.
Never heard of them.
Oh, yeah, a little toy store.
Yeah.
But
But we
we're-
do play in Ben's toy box.
There you go. But we're actually going to be bringing a lot of the Japanese vinyl Sofubi toys that we have kind of like a little bit left over from the Metacon stuff that you can't just get easily.
Yeah, you've
we're
got some
kinda-
good stuff back there.
Yeah, so we're
Yeah.
actually just saving it.
Yeah. We were
For
we
this
were
show.
playing around in his toy box earlier.
Toy Dungeon.
in
Toy
his
Dungeon.
toy dungeon, and it was he had quite an array.
Very nice.
So,
then
and
you
Ben,
also
maybe
have
we
these-
can get you to bring some of the Gachapon machines out too, so some of the people can experience those.
We
kind
can
of
try
in
to
the-
bring,
in
yeah,
the
we can try to
live.
bring one or two
I think
of
that
them
would
out.
be cool.
We have those, and they actually work off of Japanese yen. So you have to come to us.
Oh,
and-
really? You have to use the yen to do
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, you have to use the 100 coin yen to get the figure out.
That's hilarious.
So you have to come and get it traded in. Sorry if I.
But aren't the toys worth more than 100 yen?
No, you actually have to get 5 of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's 500 yen.
I was
So
gonna
you
say
can
I got
trade
some
in-
yen. I can just toss it in
Yeah,
there.
I think I might have some extra too.
If you have 500, though, there you go. That's perfect. So the other thing, the other vendor that's going to be coming is DKE Toys.
Hey, who are they?
Once again,
No, I'm just kidding.
little company. You know,
Wait a minute. If DKA Toys was going to
Look.
be there, there would have been a whole episode where we
Look.
look at a bunch of stuff. and-
Clearly, we're talking about a convention. So, did you really think that we were going to do a convention episode without Dove being part of it?
That's true. Ben, get out of here.
Yay!
All right. So, of course, we were talking about a convention. So Dove comes by, to tell us about his brand new bootlegs he's going to be having at that thing.
Woohoo!
Is it bootlegs? Do we still call it that? I mean, they're not bootlegs.
We don't. I mean,
What do we call them?
So the Sucklord still calls them bootlegs.
Art action figures?
Call them. I don't know.
All right, you need to
They're
figure out
toys.
a name. You need to figure out a name.
They're just art toys, really. They just happen to be
Styled like 3 3/4
styled
action figures.
mostly, or just some sort of action figure. I mean, it's really all just like pop art. It's just drawing on popular culture, but
Action figure art toys.
it depends what my goal is and who I'm describing it to.
Pretend you're talking to me.
See, you know everything, so like trying to explain it to you is just like banging my head against the wall.
That's usually what talking to me is like.
That's very astute.
But if it's someone who asks me like, "Hey, what do you do?" and I say, "Oh, I set up at conventions a few times a year, and I sell." I don't even know what I say. I sell like artist-made action figures. Is usually what I call them.
Artist-made action figures.
That they're not real action figures, but it's artists who've chosen whose medium is action figure. So you could paint a painting, you could sing a song, you could do a dance, but these artists decide to express themselves in the form of action figure.
Artists made in action figures.
That's right, because they see
Some of them do move,
Yeah.
though.
some of them do,
have
but most of
magnets.
them don't.
Right.
So in action figures,
Well,
but then that gets a little too like kind of kitschy.
I
don't
know. All right, these people, if they're watching, they already know
Yeah,
what this
they
is.
know
They
what's
don't
going
care.
on.
I'm just giving you a hard time. So let's get into the meat of the heat.
So we don't
The
have
heat of the
we
meat.
don't have a lot of stuff. We didn't do like 25 exclusives like for San Diego. We have like 3. So just
We'll get that San Diego episode coming soon.
Oh,
Believe me.
oh. All right. So this is called the Assassin series. This is by Starvenger.
This is all one guy.
All one guy.
Holy crap!
This is a matching number set. He made 5 of each.
Oh, it's made by Magitarius.
No.
Oh.
Well, okay. Sagittarius is his name when he does kind of the kaiju stuff.
Ah.
But when he does the sci-fi action figures, he's known as Starvenger.
It says
Well, why does it say
Magitarius on the
Magister?
back.
He used the wrong name.
I don't know. I texted him and I said, "Is this under the Magitarius brand or the Starvenger brand?" And he said Starvenger. I'm
If
like,
you look at the
says-
front, it's Starvenger.
On the back it says,
Right.
"Be sure to check out the Magitarius figures included."
so if it says Starvenger on the front, it's a Starvenger toy, okay?
Hey, Magitarius,
Fair
you
enough.
need to get your shit straight.
It's Starvenger. He's advertising Magitarius stuff on the back.
You know what's
Ah,
weird
super
is that
guys.
I didn't know he made stuff like this. I just knew the Magitarius line.
Oh, really?
It's like his weird rapper persona. or
That's
something.
why it's called Starvenger, because you're not supposed to know.
Well, he messed
Well,
up
the back
then 'cause
kind
he
of
put
throws.
He just
kinda
revealed his
clues in.
secret identity on. Here it is. Here's the exclusive.
We just ruined
We
his
just-
whole career.
Yeah.
And
Great.
These are sold in complete sets of 6 with matching number. There's only 5 sets. They're 3 3/4 inch scale. It's $450 a set, which is $75 per figure.
Wow, these are crazy.
Yeah, these are super nice.
And they're based on these paintings that he and his wife did. Or I think his wife does most of the painting.
His wife's pretty awesome. I've met her at shows.
And I own all these paintings.
Oh, really?
that They're hanging up in the house. And then he said, "I want to make action figures for all those paintings." And I was like,
Yes.
yes. And the double pour on the
Boba Fett.
So
I kind of wish the helmet was painted though, like this, like this. Like if the helmet had
Oh,
some
yeah.
of the paint, you could just see the skull through the back. Maybe you leave like the back open to let some light in. But like I don't know, I
Yeah.
kind of wish the skull was painted or the
Maybe-
helmet was
They're
painted.
pretty.
maybe for the next edition.
That's cool though.
They're awesome.
He did threaten to make
Let me see.
a separate edition of Boba Fett's for those of you who are like $450 too much, but you really want Boba Fett. So he might make another 10 Boba Fett's. We're
Is that a
waiting to see.
crazy pour on that one too on the head?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Wow, that's
they're
cool.
all. They all. I
That
like that.
IG8's really nice.
a lot of work went into these.
Or selectors. These are cool.
All right, so the next piece we have is called Chuckzilla, and that's from Caterpillar, which is the partnership between Verba Pico and Kill. And there you go.
I feel like this is where we cut to the commercial that like references what this is about.
So
Lakers are looking for a big man.
And what you don't see is them making a baby.
And then the baby grew up
And it's
it
sports
became a
sports
starting
time.
lineup
There it
figure
is.
called Sportsing Sports Time.
Yes.
So that
Amazing.
is going to be a Creature Bazaar exclusive. Come by and
Excellent.
get your Godzilla figure, and I'm kind
Now
of partial
M1's
to.
going to be there.
I'm partial to the, to the starting lineup stuff. Like, I don't know.
Not too many people do that starting lineup scale
I love the starting lineup
matchup stuff.
I love the graphics of it.
I wish he had kind of that starting lineup pose, like if he was just like doing a jump shot or something. Like,
I like that the kill logo is kind of playing basketball up there, like a little bit. Like,
Well, a lot of people would love to do that. The problem are the blisters. Because
Right.
every single starting lineup figure had its own custom blister.
wow.
Right.
It also had the tray that included the card. And everyone, Dogman had his Robo Jackson figure that we had for the Robot Remix show, and he actually glued a little top loader to the card so the card could go in and out.
Oh, cool.
But the problem is, I don't even know how Kenner did the starting lineup. They had to do like 80, 100 sculpts a year.
yeah, but did they just have their own vac former that just like made those?
Yeah, when you're doing the factory, it
No,
doesn't
I'm just
matter,
talking about
right?
the individual characters. Like they could reuse some poses, like a picture, and then just change the head. But then there's so many different sculpts.
It was a different time back then. Tooling was a lot cheaper.
Was it?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they could just beat up on employees. They didn't have the same
Like
kind
back when McFarlane was the heyday, and they were making those 7-inch figures. Like the tooling was super cheap back then.
What changed? Don't they do it with computers now? Like that, you all had to be hand done then. Now it should be cheaper, right?
I don't know. Just more regulations, probably. They had those Olympics, and then they had to clean up their act because there's too much freaking pollution.
of ruined our toys.
All right, moving along here. So Gorehound Toys. I don't know if you remember the Darth Vader.
Oh,
that he did.
looking at this, I remember
You
it.
remember the Darth Vader? It was exquisite. It was the Vader with all like the gore and the boobs and the little Luke coming out of the. Well, he decided to do his Beavis and Butthead takeoff here, called the Body Horror Show. There
Nice.
is artwork there. It's an edition of 15, $65.
That's a good price.
And he's still working on it. That is the prototype. But once that's painted 3 3/4, that's gonna be
That's gonna be something.
pretty
Awesome.
amazing. So we're trying to focus on like the horror monster theme here. I tried to, we'll see if this year's show is like gangbusters. Oops, sorry, Victoria.
We curse on here. She knows what cursing is.
I think that this could be a thing. Like I think that a lot of these artists would really love to start producing action figures, but with a theme of like
More in a
horror-
creature kind
horror
of
creatures.
realm.
'Cause
That
right,
would be cool.
Right now, most of them are doing kind of like Star Wars and sci-fi and that kind of pop culture, but heading in this direction would be really a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It
Those
would
are
be great to have, because I mean, you kind of have the mass market San Diego stuff. You have the more artsy kind of decon stuff. That would be cool to have a more creature related
Well,
time to sell toys.
At like Comic-Con, I always feel like there's a lot of like sci-fi hip hop kind of mashups and things like that, or like the two sides of popular culture coming together, where this is like a little bit more gory,
A little darker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
I mean, we do get like like a lot of Freddy Krueger and Jason mashups and that kind of horror, slasher horror, but not like creature stuff. And I think for like an artist's imagination, when they can run wild with like creatures and that kind of stuff, I think you wind up with some good stuff.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, these are awesome.
That's crazy.
And sorry, we just blew it for Magiterius' secret identity on this one.
Damn it. All right, so the last thing I brought is not going to be a Creature Bazaar, but it just arrived from Argentina. It's a Calaca Toys Sucklord mashup here. And it's the first Sucklord Simpsons figure that I can tell. It's an edition of 30. It's $90 on the Calaca site, including delivery from Argentina.
Oh.
Hmm.
And it's about 3.5 tall, but it's to scale with like the Playmates line.
So is it Sucklord or is it Calaca?
Both. It is a mash.
Oh, they're both working on it together.
It is a collaboration.
Right.
It's a
Okay.
collaborative.
So they went on a double date. And these
And
guys,
that's their baby.
yeah,
It's their baby,
and it's their
right.
kids that play together.
So
Got it.
anyway, go check out Calaca Toys. He's on Instagram. Hit him up. Just should sell out very quickly, I think.
Nice. It's close enough. I can see it. I got it.
Anyway,
I understand.
that's all I got.
That's it?
That's it.
What?
Amazing.
This is not normal.
Sorry.
There needs to be
Quick and easy.
500
I
things.
told you, it's not like, this is the first year Creature Bazaar. It's a small show. Wanna don't wanna
Curated.
Don't
Right.
wanna
Call it.
overpower it.
Yeah, it's curated.
Curated, not small.
There were
Yeah.
some other artists that I contacted and asked to make stuff who shall not be named here on the show,
Name 'em.
who flaked.
Oh.
Ooh.
But you never know. Maybe we'll have some surprises.
I'm sure you'll have surprises.
Anyway.
All right, well, is there anything else we need to talk about? We got to say those dates again in case someone wasn't paying attention early on.
April 3rd and 4th, creaturebazaar.com. You can get tickets.
You can buy tickets now, right?
Yep.
Get your tickets
Tickets
now.
on sale now.
All right.
We'll be there.
That's it. So let's wrap
See ya.
it up. Anything else, Ben, you want to talk about?
Was,
No,
I,
nothing?
was I waving too prematurely?
Hopefully, if you didn't notice Ben's shirt, you go back and rewind because I didn't notice it till he stood up. It's very funny. All right, that's it. Show's over, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Do you guys want to? Do we give out the shout outs of the names? That was the other podcast I'm on. I don't know how to do this
No.
anymore.
I think we're good. Something will flash up on the screen.
Sure.
Like, share, subscribe.
Yeah.
I don't do this. This is Ben's job.
Well, I think the most important thing to say is that
Ben's Toy Dungeon is a new thing.
Yeah.
no, is that if you're into this kind of stuff, you should come out for Creature Bazaar. This is going to be the first year, and what happens is as these things grow and get bigger,
You could say I was at the first
everyone
one.
says like, "Oh, I wish I was there. I want to be. Oh, next year I'll do it." It's like, yeah, whatever. Like, you should really come out. I think
Yeah.
these guys did a killer job.
The lineup's incredible.
The lineups is a smaller show with incredible lineup. Like, what more do you need? Like,
Nothing.
nice,
Nothing
intimate,
more.
affordable show to go to. And I think the Glendale Civic is rad. I go to a lot of conventions there.
I have never been there, and I live in Glendale.
When I went the first time, I was like, "This is it." I called him up right away. I was like, "Dude, you need to check this out."
It looks like some 40s American Legion Hall. I always would text you and tell you to go to
Yeah, you do.
the what's a show called the All American.
It's the All American Toy Show.
Toy Show.
Toy and paper show
That
or
is
whatever.
my-
Yeah.
I love that show. It's
It's full of awesome garbage.
the stuff that shows up at that show is just amazing.
We're not here to promote that show. We're here to
Sorry.
promote Creature Bazaar. And it's
just
Bazaar, not Bizarre. So they know how to spell it.
Right, that's true.
Bazaar, like a
Bazaar.
sales thing from an old D&D book.
what is a bizarre?
Like Bazaar, like that's crazy. That's bizarre. This is Bazaar, like I'm going to sell shit. at the
See what we
bazaar.
did there? See what we did there?
I get it now, dude. All right,
All right, that's it.
There's a show.
See you next week.
take care, guys.
Thank you.
See ya.
That's it. That's how we record. Oh, I forgot to hit record.